Hello, welcome to Animes, another weekly roundup of anime figures. This will be from the 25th of September to 30th of September. So we'll do a quick just scroll through to see what was released since Monday. There's been a lot of figure releases, so I've got quite a few tabs open currently at the moment. Let's have a quick look. Anything that's just come into stock. A Pilot on a Sun, that looks like quite a good looking figure. Possibly get as well. That is available in stock. Okay, but a lot of the pre-order figures I have got open in the tabs, as you can see. So we'll have to just get through them pretty rapid fire, like, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, otherwise the video will be just way too long. And what are the top 10 looking figures? Azure Lane, Arknights, Elf Village Girl, Anime, so that's Berserk, Pop-Up Rage, Poetry the Rock, another Azure Lane, and a Toho. That's kind of to be expected, I think, with that lineup. Okay, so we'll get into this now. So starting off, we've got Macross Frontier, Cheryl Gnome, Tsukiyomi version 1/7 by Shibuya Scramble for 38,500 yen. This one's a quite good looking figure once it's loaded up properly. These sorts of elegant sort of Chinese themed figures which have a lot of colour going onto them, are very floral and vibrant and bright, are quite good looking figures if that's the aesthetic you're going for in your collection. It's always sometimes good to have vibrant natural colours, like the blues and the pinks and purples. They don't really clash in this, and obviously with the warmth of the fiery base it looks quite good overall. But you are paying Shibuya Scramble, they do charge quite a lot, but you're getting a lot of detail, and the paint job on the pattern work looks really good. So I don't think there's any complaints overall. It's not from a series I'm aware of, Macross Frontier, probably a game. But yeah, Shibuya Scramble do cover these sorts of more niche IPs. And they've also got, there's another Macross Frontier, Blanca Lee, Matarasu. This one's a bit more simpler compared to the other one, but you've got obviously the whites and pinks with just blue highlights. Look really good overall. It's a good looking figure. So again, it's Shibuya Scramble, 38,500 yen. So both of these I think are June 2024, or July 2024 for the first one, and then both from July 2024. Girls Frontline, M90, 950A, the Wobbler, and the Rose Damage version by eStream. This one's for a wedding dress skin of a Girls Frontline figure that's obviously damaged. I do like the burn marks on here, assuming the actual final prototype, the actual final product, they look like this. But like the way they do damage on these is sometimes it's very lightly damaged, really. Although obviously there's quite a big damage mark, burn mark here in the chest area, giving you a bit more, obviously a better view. And I do like the way the dress is filling up at the front to make it a bit more appealing, obviously, to certain people. So this is for 31,900 yen. It's coming out in April 2024. So I do like the green hair as well. It's a very nice looking figure. But if you're into Girls Frontline, then there's this probably one of the best, probably a Girls Frontline figure that looks a lot better. Masume Kun's Revenge are Kawaii Yoshino. These are not to scale ones. This is by Furyu, so for 8,880 yen. And we've got a R Adagaka Aki as well. So we don't particularly know what these aren't to an official scale, but I do like this sort of blue shading they've got going on the dress here on this maid outfit. And on Aki, I do like the overall dress design overall on this character. So depending on the size these are, approximately 11 centimeters in height, so they're very small, so like 1/9 scale probably. They are sitting down, they're lying down, so probably like 1/8 if they were standing up. But 8,000 yen is not too bad. It's Furyu though, so I reckon they'll produce loads of these, and they'll just end up being probably cheaper in the aftermarket afterwards. So maybe not worth grabbing hold of these and holding off of these if these are a series that you're interested in. Guilty Gear Strike Bridget for the 7th, 24,120 yen by Q's Q. I think this is the standard sort of skin of Bridget. Uh, she looks fine overall. Paint job looks great. I do like the detailing on the actual imprints on the back of the bullets for the magazine on her yo-yo. Revolver magazine yo-yo. Looks good overall. Quite good looking figure of Bridget. There's been a few of them over the sort of past year and a bit though. Guilty Gear seems to be the main character that the IP sort of give out to manufacturers. Pop-up parade character, vocal series 01 Hatsune Miku, future Eve version, L size. This is the large size. So she's going to be standing at 22.5 centimeters tall. It's quite tall. About 1/7 scale, 1/6 scale in height. These support rods for the hair makes sense. You can see the seam though, where the ponytails, they'll be detachable. So they'll ship her, unfortunately, with obviously these detached. So you're going to have the support rods in to display her. Unfortunately, that means she's going to take up a lot of shelf space for a pop parade, which generally is not something you want in a pop parade. She is an L size, which generally means they have better detail and paint job. Their paint scheme is the attention to detail is more than the normal pop parades. But if you're big into Miku, then you might already have the standard pop parade version of this rather than the L size. But it's fine. The outfit looks fine. I like overall colour scheme. Looks alright. The hair is just a bit of a letdown. The way it's sort of all liquidy rather than actual hair strands or anything that a lot of her other actual scale figures have. Artworks monster Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters Dark Magician Girl by Meg House, 26,400 yen. I think I covered this already before, but it's Dark Magician Girl, probably one of the most popular Duel Monsters figures that people. There's iconic apart from Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. She's probably like in the top 3 figures that people recognise from Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise at least. Looks good overall. There's been quite a few Dark Magician Girls released over the past year and a half with their Duel Monsters, so it might be worth getting her if you've missed out on the previous releases. Guilty Gear Strive Blue Archive Para E Bridget 1/7. So by Shibuya Scramble, 29,150 yen. This one obviously costs a lot more, but it's because you're getting this sort of very nicely detailed revolver yo-yo dice for the base, which the red on it the metallic red on it looks really good. So a lot of my manufacturers try and emulate this metallic red if they're using metallic red in other figure designs in the future. I think this is the best metallic red I've seen on a anime figure at least. For 29,150 yen, bit expensive, but if you're big into your Guilty Gear, this might be one of the probably better Bridget figures that have been released. Azulane Emile Burton swimsuit skin coat, the Azure 1/4 scale, by Design Coco, 38,280 yen. Now, is this worth freeing figure prices? Depends. Azulane figures, obviously, they generally do sell quite well. Obviously, there's a lot of popularity in Azulane figures. Benefits of this: water effect looks astonishing on the base. It looks really good. The outfit detail looks really good as well. Hair looks fine. It's not the best detailed or shading in the hair I've seen, but it's good. And you get the accessories look nicely detailed. The beach ball looks really good. And I don't know what this blue cube. Oh, it's her battle arms weapon. No, she looks really good overall. But I think it's the Design Coco, so as a manufacturer, that's not obviously been around for ages. They're a Chinese brand, so might be worth waiting out. She's quarter scale, so the price is obviously elevated compared to a standard 1/7, which would be like 24,000 yen, probably something like this. So it depends if you're really big into your quarter scales and if you want a swimsuit figure of an Azulane figure in your collection. But there's lots of obviously girls that are from Azulane now out there, so really this is going to be ideal for people who like Emile Burton. She's one of their favourite ships in the game. They play the game a lot. and they really want a centerpiece figure to have in their figure collection. So then that's available for you. Musume Pretty Derby Rice Shower 1/7 by Alter for 20,690 yen. This is, I'm not familiar with the anime, I've not watched it, but Alter have knocked out the park like they always do. The attention to detail, the shading looks impeccable, the pattern work, it looks immaculate. I can't fault the design in any way. The base is obviously, and the base is not just a bland circle base with the gold and this sort of rustic red, metallic red that they've got going on, a brown on the base. Looks really like class and pristine. It looks more like a luxury item. So it's a very good looking figure. If this is a character that you like from Musume, then you've got, and it's not a bad price either, with the Alter stamp of approval. Well, pretty much guaranteed manufacturer quality. It's a very worthwhile figure to pick up. Nurse no Natsuo San Unetsu Haka Mashun on 6th by Daiku Kogyo. So this is a figure that's cast offable, obviously. It's lying down, 1/6 scale, so it's a bit larger than normal 1/7. It looks quite good. It's a normal nurse figure that you can cast off, and the price is not too bad. If you're going for a collection that centers around nurse themed figures, there's another one out here. Daiki, I think, is another one of those sort of more Chinese brands. But so I'll just have to probably maybe wait, see what when people get it into their hands, see what the actual quality is like. But the hair looks really good. I think the face looks. There's nothing actually bad about the face. Maybe the mouth, the shape might be a little bit off in the mouth, but that's about it. And I think the overall design looks fine. It's a nurse and lingerie basically. Dragon Princess 1/7 by Ulup for 20,900 yen. This is one of those figures that it doesn't look like it's cast off, doesn't mention it's cast off in any way, but I think it's such a unique design in terms of doing like a dragon race aesthetic / cyberpunk or techno, like a techno dragon theme figure, female figure instead. So I think this is very unique, and I think a lot of people probably like this if you do like that sort of cyberpunk or techno girl, cyber girls, sci-fi girls aesthetic in their figure collection. And 21,000 yen is not a horrendously bad price either. And obviously, if you do like this sort of more leery figures which are much more explicit than in your collection, and this one's right up your alley. This is one I'm very tempted to pick up as well for pre-order. TV anime Jujutsu Kaisen Megumi Fushiguru 1/7 for Shibuya Scramble, 38,500 yen. So this one's obviously you're paying a lot more, but Shibuya Scramble have always been quite good with the sort of effect parts and making these figures very dynamic. I can't fault them on that. I think the figure looks great overall. I like his outfit. The outfit shading on him is really well done. Going from the shadow for his summons, the way it blends in is really well done. Yeah, I can't fault it really. The price is probably the only thing, depends on some people. 38,500 yen. Some people prefer to pick up sort of two scale figures that are just more up their alley for this price than one sort of more centerpiece figure. That's just down to personal budgets, unfortunately. Get on to this next one when it loads. Wakey. I need to load. Strike the Blood Final Quarter Scale Yukina Himeragi Black Lingerie version by Hobby Stock for 33,000 yen, and there is also her in a white as well for 33,000 yen. It depends if you want black or white lingerie version, quarter scales of her. It's interesting you're getting some Strike the Blood. I think it's probably because on the final season's been announced for Strike the Blood. or has come out, and these are just some figures for it. Since there's been some hype of Strike the Bird, I watched the first 2 seasons. Really like them. I really should catch up and watch the rest of them. And this is for people who want obviously quarter scales of Yukina. I don't know if there's actually much wanting, because Strike the Bird is not one of the sort of the bigger anime series that gets a lot of attention, but there have been 4 seasons, I think. So obviously it's quite popular. So I can understand them making some more figures of it more recently, but they look fine. 33,000 yen is probably about right considering their quarter scales. Obviously, there's nothing amazing about them. There's just 2 different lingerie version options, but you get the same shirt. Oops, I'll just click on. Okay. So yeah, 33,000 yen, about right. March 2024. So the shoe stands at 22 centimeters tall when lying down like that. HoloLive Production LA Plus Darkness by Good Smile, 18,980 yen. Not big into the HoloLive series, I don't really watch any of them, but this design looks very unique and cute. I really do like this design. These sort of oversized sleeves look really adorable on her, and the outfit looks amazing. And I think for the price, 18,900 yen, it is a bargain considering how much you're getting from just the detail of the overall design. Looks really good. I think if you do combine it with something like this, where you've got like a purple lighting or in the background on your display, then she'll stand out really well like this. Definitely, I think the mood lighting will definitely elevate this figure a lot as well. It can get you a long way. Definitely worth picking up if you're big into HoloLive figures. Playmax Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time Rei Ayanami long hair version, and there is also a standard version, 6,540 yen each. These are non-scaled figures. Oops, sorry, that was a message on my tablet. So it's by Playmax. So these are non-scaled, standing at 20 centimeters tall. So about 1/8. I think 1/8 ish, probably is about right. So 6,500 yen, really good price if you're big into your Evangelion figures and you want Rei Ayanami, but without going a full scale figure. I think the detailing, and especially in the long hair one, looks pretty good. Obviously the short hair one, it looks a bit simple, but you get a bit more in the plug suit design with the orange and the green parts in her bodysuit, whereas the long hair version, it does have, I think it doesn't have the orange. Yeah, it's got green around where the chest are. So there's some differences between plug suits. Oh no, it's green there as well. Okay. Yeah, no, but they both look quite good overall for the price. Umamusume Pretty Derby Nice Nature 1/7 by Fat Company, 27,800 yen. So it's not going to have the same quality as Ulta, and obviously this costs more than the Ulta one. In terms of its design, it looks like you get some extra pieces though, which I think possibly makes up for it, depending on if you want her, which pose you want her on in your collection, and if considering she comes with these main base. So it doesn't mention that she has multiple like face plates and arm plates, but considering it looks like it, and this is the exclusive sale version, I would possibly maybe message AnimePre and ask them just to clarify that in promotion pictures. Just confirm if you are really dead set on this figure. She looks really good overall, and it is Fat Company, so they do know how to obviously paint a figure to a really good standard. So I don't think you're gonna have any problems overall with it. It's just it costs more than the Ulta figure, which is of a different character. So it depends on whether you like which character you prefer. But obviously the manufacturer can sway your decision as well quite a lot. Heaven Burns Red Megami Ayakawa 1/7 by Furyu, 19,630 yen. No idea about this figure or who they are. All I can do is just do a quick comment. School outfit looks really good. I like the shading on the shirt. Looks really well done. The blues on the shading on the blue jacket tied around her waist looks really good. The weapon looks pretty good. Nothing like ridiculous, but like It's just, I think the weapons obviously they can do just, you know, metallics and whatnot, and some just a basic colouring on it, because it's not what people are. The shading on the figure looks really well done in comparison to the weapon, but the weapon is just a weapon anyway, so they don't really have to do that much. There's always seems to be this distinction between weapons or something that's technological and something that's to do with the outfit. The way they do approach shading on them, and the level of effort they put into them is there's always seems to be a difference. But yeah, Fuyu is one of those manufacturers that seems to pump out a lot, or overproduce a lot of figures, and a lot of their rain figures, once they come out, do come out on a sale afterwards, shortly afterwards, after being released. So maybe just having a look to see if 1 scale figures or 1/7 scale figures have paved that way in the past, or if there are any that are still on sale and have only recently released, then it might be worth waiting till after May 2024 to get her. Alteria Sophie 2, the Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream, Ramazel Erlenmeyer 1/7, KT Model Plus. So I don't know about the manufacturer, but I think they've done another one of the other Alteria Riser figures, at least. This looks really well done. I do love the cape. The cape looks stunning. The hair looks amazing. I think every manufacturer has got one of the Alteria as a Riser or like Sophie figures from those game series. They have done an amazing job with, I think, the way they get their artwork, the concept art from the figures, and then they can transfer it into 3D figure form, have all been amazing. None of them have been terrible or anything like that, apart from maybe the lingerie versions of Alteria Riser. Like that might be a bit bland in comparison to when you look at their standard game outfits like this, but this obviously looks impeccable overall, and there'll be a really good quality design, really good high quality figure to have in your collection. So 27,500 yen is, I think, price appropriate for this figure. Yes, it is a manufacturer, obviously not well known, probably another one of those Chinese manufacturers, or smaller manufacturers from another Asian country. Don't know. So, but yeah, no, this looks like a really good figure to get if you're really into your Alteria series of games. Twin box illustration, Meido Shiori-chan complete, Union Creative. This one is a non-scale. She's 18 centimeters tall, kneeling. So probably 1/8 kneeling, 1/8, 1/9, something like that. So quite a small figure. Looks pretty good overall. Swimsuit figure. Not massive into swimsuits overall, and it's the big characters that I really appreciate. I'm not familiar with this series. It's Union Creative. Might be an OC character. Meido Shiori-chan. Looks quite good overall. 17,000 yen though, so it is obviously a good price overall. Kadakawa Collection Light, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, 5,600 yen. I think for the price, you know what you're going to get. The hair looks really good. There's nothing bad I can say about it. This figure looks really good, and looks like you get some multiple facial expressions, which definitely adds to the figure again, as by Kadakawa. So definitely worth picking up if you really like Roxy. And last week I covered there was a 1/3 scale Roxy, I think 1/3 or 1/4 that you could get in my last week's video. So have a look at that possibly. And that was a really good price. Kadakawa Collection is a 1/3 of Roxy for the price of like a 1/4 scale. Kadakawa Collection Light Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elaine complete. For Kadakawa, 5,200 yen. This must be a new lineup of that Kadakawa doing all these sort of cheaper figures, or cheaper priced figures, but a bit more expensive than Pop-Up Parade. But looks like they have more detail in the Pop-Up Parade figures. But I think they're smaller, or probably they're non-scale. So 16 centimeters tall, which stands up, but good price. Yep, hopefully they do more of this. Pop-Up Parade Reborn Sawada complete figure by Good Smile Art Shanghai, 4,000 yen. I really like this anime. I really enjoyed this one, sort of shonen-esque anime. Love the fiery effect parts. It really does match sort of the way he is portrayed in the anime as well. Really, if you enjoyed Reborn, then definitely worth picking this up as well. 4,000 yen. It's not one of my favourite ones, but I did really enjoy the anime series, so it's definitely worth possibly picking up if you only more recently watched it or you're reading the manga. Pop-Up Parade Summertime Rendering Ushio Kofun Complete by Good Smile, 4,080 yen. It's a simple swimsuit figure of Kofun, which I think's recently got been quite popular in a lot of the anime scene. I've not seen the anime to see if there's any why she's so popular. Pop-Up Parade Bochi the Rock Hitori Goto Complete 7th scale. So you get multiple face plates, looks like with this. Again, I've not watched Bochi the Rock, it's probably one that I should sort of just came out of nowhere apparently, it seems like in the fan base, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So 4,000 yen, Pop-Up Parade. So there are other ones up there. Tales of Destiny Leon Magnus 1/7 by Ribos, 24,980 yen. This is a good looking male figure. You don't get a lot of male figures. I'm pretty sure it's a male figure, even though it's got pink, but yeah, no, it looks really good. I think for the price and the way this is, it's a very good sort of fantasy-esque male character figure to have 30 centimeters tall, so very tall. That'll be because of the cape. Definitely worth picking up if this is a Tales of, if you have heard of that. Miss Kabayashi's Dragon Maid Ilu 1/6 by Wibos, 24,800 yen. I think obviously it's going to be the oversight whether these are just too large for people's opinion. It's going to be personal taste. It's not something I would get. I wouldn't get this figure of her, unfortunately. But other people will be happy to go with this figure. You know, if you want it or not. I do like the under cape shading. That's really well done, like the red shading that got going under there. But apart from that, I don't really want to comment more on this figure. Fox Spirits Matchmaker Yaya Tusang Ching Ling Lu 7th version. This is by Yuin Goods. So it's one of those sort of Chinese-esque game figures, female figures. It's a very good looking figure. I do love the dragon effect. The dragon looks really well done, and the water effect on the base looks really well done. So if you want 27,000 yen, pretty well done. I'd maybe wait till the actual final one comes out, January 2024, so it's not only a few months. I would probably do that before you actually get hold of this figure. Looks pretty good overall though. Very good looking figure. It's just Fox Spirit Matchmaker I've not watched. Fairy Tale Urza Scarlet Halloween Cat Gravure style. There's 3 versions of this. You've got Cherry Blossom Cat version, and you've got a Scarlet White Tiger version. Glad they're doing 3 different skins. It's Urza Scarlet, so it will sell very well. So you can get one that's obviously more Halloween-esque. If you want one that's more summery, you've got the cat one. I do like this pink one. I think it's my favourite really. If you want a bit more subdued, then you've obviously got the white sort of tiger-esque version with the very nice detailed pattern on the scarf as well going around her. So 21,680 yen by Orca Toys. Data Live Siri Salin Kurumi. So this is like a Chinese dress Kurumi. Very nice looking figure. I do like the leaf effect on this. But there's loads of Kurumi figures out there. So it's by Good Show. So not again another small manufacturer. 21,700 yen. It's a fine looking figure. To be honest, I think the detail you're getting for it is well worth it for the price. It looks like as long as they can live up to what's in the promo pictures, it'll be a very nice Kurumi figure to get. Arc Knight Surtur Liberté. Eken version 1/7 by Good Smile Art Shanghai. 17,800 yen, 980 yen. This is obviously a really good price because of all the extra bits you get on the base, given it's so much more character and class. And it's Surtur, which I think a lot of people like Surtur from Arc Knights, from Arc Knights. So this is obviously a very good popular figure, and I think this just gives a lot of edge to her, how she puts herself across. Very good looking figure, and I think the price is a steal, as long as it's very close to this. But yeah, no, the base adds so much to it, and her figure itself, her skirt, the detailing on the skirt looks really good. She looks great overall. Obviously not tons of shading, but you don't need to because the base adds so much to the figure. Azure Lane Amagi-chan 1/7 by Apex, 22,400 yen. It's just a cute Azure Lane figure, little girl Azure Lane figure, and she that's adorable. Like I'm so tempted to even get a hold of it just because of that smiley face. Just have that sat on my desk every morning, or when I get back from work. It would line up your heart, wouldn't it? So definitely worth. I'm very tempted to pick that up anyway, just for that alone. I think that's one of my favourite figures in this lineup, just for how adorable she is. 20,040 yen is a bit pricey, but she's a 1/7 scale and 13 centimeters tall, so it's very short, so she doesn't take a lot of space, vertically at least. Azure Lane Enterprise Wind Catcher version 1/7 Apex, 4,500 yen. These race ones they've knocked out of the park. They've all been excellent. Mimio have done a couple, and obviously Apex looks like they're doing some as well. These look stunning. They've matched the skins in game really well, and the price seems to be perfectly on par, I think, with what you get there. Azure Lane Little Cheshire 1/6 by AniGame, 20,900. So this is sort of like a chibi-esque Nendroid kind of figure, which just looks super adorable. It's kind of like a doll slash chibi effect, it looks like, and her in her pouting face looks really adorable. Again, this is another one of those figures I think it just conveys a certain emotion to you, which I think that's probably one of the best ways to get a figure, is if it just emotionally ties you or affects you in some way, then it'd be definitely worth picking up. Azure Lane Le Marlin Listless Lapin version 20 by Alter. So it's a bunny by Alter, 1/7 scale. Very good looking figure. I've got no complaints. The hair looks amazing, and the overall design looks impeccable. Again, because it's Alter, I'm pretty sure that I've got no qualms with them. And then it looks like you also get two face plates as well, Winky and a standard face. So good looking figure overall. 20,000 yen is a good price. Hopefully Alter keep a lot of their 1/7 figures at this price range in the future. Toho Project Remy Hakuru Wonder Shrine Maiden of Paradise by Solarian, 27,500 yen. This is a good looking figure. You don't get a lot of Shrine Maidens, and normally when you do, sort of it's just the outfit and you don't get anything else, but the base adds so much to her, telling you that she is a Shrine Maiden. And I do love like the water effects. Recently a lot of manufacturers have been really good at doing water effects. Her outfit, the shading on her outfit looks amazing, red shading, and yeah, this is a very good looking figure. For 27,000 yen, I think it's worth the price. The base adds so much to the characteristic of the figure. Anime Berserk The Golden Age Arc Memorial Edition, Figma, Slan, and Conrad, 23,100 yen. This is the cheaper of the lineup, unlike Griffith and the other one. I think that's because she's a bit cheaper, and what they have to manufacture her with, Slan and Conrad. But if you want to pick up the entire lineup, I think it's close to like 90,000 yen for all of them. You want all the entire lineup. I think Griffith is about 30. You got a standard Griffith one. You got one where he's in his locket sort of eye thing, which is about 33,000 yen, and then these two are like 33,000 yen. So I think you'll be looking at like 90,000 yen for them, not including postage. But yeah, if you're really into Berserk, get all of them. Yes, they're Figmas, so the joints you have to contend with, but you don't see a lot of Berserk figures coming out. Elf Villager Lululania 1/6 by Vertex. I think it's the new one, which is quite good looking. She looks amazing. It seems like they've steadily improved the design and their approach to the artworks of these figures over since they're on the 12th, obviously, of the Elf Villager ones, and they start doing the Dark Elf versions as well. So it's good if you want to pick up. I've got two Elf Villagers, which I'll probably cover in a video at some point in the future. But she looks really good. I do love the proportions. The enlarged, well-endowed chest, and the hourglass figure, big buttocks, and the armor looks great. Probably something I would be worth picking up. But a lot of their figures do go down in price after launch, because they do a lot of re-releases. So a lot of the other elf girls have been re-released multiple times over the years. So if you miss out they'll release her again probably next year or the year after. So it just depends on how urgently you want to complete your lineup of all the Elf Village girls with Vertex. Toho Project Remilia Scarlet 1/8 by Alter. This is, I think, one of those figures that there's a lot of people anticipating to get this figure, and they just want, sort of this lolly-esque aesthetic vampire, which I think is just very iconic and very mentally grabbing in terms of figure collections and in the anime scenes. A vampire that's a lolly, very young girl that's a vampire that's will retain her youth for the rest of the time. 34,000 yen, and I think there'll be a lot of people that'll be just auto buy this because it's Alter and it's of Toho, which I think is very well received from the other lineup of figures that she's part of. This other Toho figure that I think has been a lot of people have really bought, and I think her aftermarket she's actually gone up in price quite a lot. So if you do it's one of those things you don't have to speculate on so much. Where if you're going to lose money on this figure, I think it's something you'll be satisfied with your investment. You'll get a lot of enjoyment out of it for years, and then if you do want to move on from it, then you should be able to get your money back. Bar Abyss UU on quarter scale by Mengi Zhang Toys, 10,780 yen. So this is a very cheap, obviously quarter scale, but it's a very cheap price, which I think we might see more of in the future. There's that bunny girl that I covered a few weeks ago, which is 9,000 yen, and she's a quarter scale, and I think a lot of people bought her. I pre-ordered her, so we might see a lot more of these sort of quarter scales by these sort of, they've got some detail but they're not amazing. But then I think a lot of people are getting a bit bored of freeing quarter scales where they're all pretty simple bunny suit designs. It's more of where they do a step beyond in the bunny suit itself, or in the figure, in the way they're posed and any accessories they come with, that then people go, that's worth buying. That's it's not bland. It doesn't follow the same formula that freeing have just got so comfortable with. So this is and there's obviously for the price, it's not as if it's gonna break the bank or anything really, and it's quarter scale. I love it. A lot of people love quarter scales. I'm one of those. How Hu Mo Li Mo Shang Li Quinn or Keen version 1/6 by AnimePre-Orders, 18,150 yen. So they did a couple of figures AnimePre-Orders for that were about 7,000-8,000 yen, which are really good quality for the price. So this one's obviously like over double the price of that, but you're getting obviously this big umbrella, and there's way more detailing of this base. This is the detailing on this sort of scroll that she's just coming out of, something you would see on like 25 to 30,000 yen figure, and it's by AnimePre-Orders. So hopefully AnimePre-Orders are going to be one of those sort of those manufacturers that are budget, good quality, and overall for what you're getting, as long as the what you're seeing in the figure appeals to you. So obviously these are like sort of Chinese-esque or Chinese themed figures, which I'm not. I buy anime figures of characters that I like, so or that franchise of series that I've watched before. Honkai Impact 3rd Durandal Stellar Promise version 1/7 by miHoYo, 23,000 yen. So it's another one of those sort of wedding dress figures. Looks pretty good actually. Obviously it's not one of those standard wedding dress or elegant figures. It's not wedding dress, it's probably an elegant party, ballroom dancing dress figure of her coming down some stairs. I think this is a good looking figure. miHoYo done a couple of bangers in the past as well. Blue Archive Wakamo 1/7 by Neon Max. This one obviously by 24,900, 25,000 yen. I do love the black outfit. The Chinese outfit looks really good, and I love the mask on her. I think people will be displaying her with the mask. She doesn't seem to just suit her without the mask. It's just missing something. So I think you'd always display her with the mask. Very good design. Love the design overall. Very good looking figure, and it's by Blue Archive. So it's another one of those game franchise like gacha games. I think a lot of mobile gacha games we're going to be seeing a lot of Blue Archive figures. Obviously you've got Asuna in the bunny suit, which I've pre-ordered both versions of. So one should be coming here in the next couple, hopefully next couple of weeks. So as of recording this in October, I should hopefully be seeing her by the time she lands and gets through customs and whatnot. But this is a very good one. So we'll be seeing a lot more Blue Archive figures in the past, just like Azure Lane we've had for the past few years. This is the adult section, or age restricted, of AnimePre. So I thought I'd go in to do this and cover this every now and then. The reason I'm doing this because there's these two figures here which are very unique. So we'll just get into these. So Mazuko Uju Rouge Strawberry Milk on the 6th by Odd, 34,100 yen. I think obviously people would buy this for obviously very particular reasons, and there is also black chocolate milk version. I'm very tempted to even buy both of these because these just look, I don't know, they're just so unique and whatnot. Having your collection would just be, I think, like amazing. June 2024, and for both of them, I think that's quite a tight month, and their prices are quite a lot, but they're just so unique. You know, you're not gonna see these like ever again. That you know, so there's been obviously things on Reddit about these figures. That's why I saw them, so I thought I'm gonna have to include them in this week's showing up. But 34,000 yen. Yeah. And then there's this 3rd grade Class H Rushutsui Yozumi IXZ 1/5 by Pure, 20,900 yen. Is a schoolgirl figure uniform, you know, in a very lewd posture. And I don't, based on obviously this artwork. So that's that there. That does it for this week's there's been a lot of figures released this week. So I thought I'd try and obviously cover as many of them as I can. There'll be a spreadsheet probably attached in the link in the description. Too many for me to fit all of them into the description box, I'm afraid. So if you look at the link below, there'll be a Google Doc which will have a list of all these figures, their names, and a link to them on the AnimePre, so you can just click on that rather than trying to search for them, which I know can be tedious if you're not like me, checking AnimePre twice a day, which I check AnimePre twice a day. I do. For pre-orders at least, and then for sales I check sort of once a week. But that does it for Try Animes. Thank you for watching. I was sitting through this very long video. I hopefully will catch you. Please catch me in the next video. Please comment, subscribe, or even if you don't want to subscribe, please comment. That's the best way for me to improve release of the videos. If you like this series of content I'm doing, you know, the time that I put into it. I know the recording and the editing is not very, you know, amazing for it, but I think it's just the time of doing the spreadsheet is a bit more different to what other YouTubers do, where they just cover the releases and that's it. I like to add on a bit more with the spreadsheet, which helps, you know, if there is one that you can just click straight on it and pre-order it straight away, or check to see if it's available, at least with AnimePre. But yeah, hopefully subscribe if I've got some ideas from some more content to do in the future. I've got a couple of figures to review in the next coming weeks, when I get around to getting some time for those. Thank you very much. I shall catch you in next week's video. Peace. Bye.